New exciting PS5 specs! Oh god, I itch.
Skip it up and that up.
You wish you had a beard like this. You want a beard like this? Huh? Look at that, it's luxurious. So as next gen gets closer and closer, more rumors and hardware specs are revealed about the PS5 and Xbox Scarlet. And it's getting exciting. We're hearing new things all the time, and I always get amped this time of the console generation hearing about these new specs because I'm a friggin' nerd and I love specs. And I love pecs. I don't have pecs. I lost weight. I still have man boobs though. They'll go away eventually, I promise. Well, anyway, PlayStation CEO and President Jim Ryan was talking to CNET, and he sat down and said some interesting things about the PlayStation 5. And we heard about this before, but he went into more detail, but it leaves more questions than it answers, what he said about cross-generational play. Now, this is what Ryan had to say to CNET. Whether it's backwards compatibility or the possibility of cross-generational play, we'll be able to transition the community to next gen. It won't be a binary choice about whether you have to be either on the PlayStation 4 or next gen to continue your friendship. Now, Ryan, in the CNET article, I thought it was interesting, went on to talk about next gen VR, and I'm starting to get interested in VR, which I never saw coming, so I found this interesting about what Jim had to say about this as well. We have nothing to say about any potential next-gen VR product at this stage, which means there is one. We continue to believe that VR has the potential to be a really meaningful part of the future of interactive entertainment. The current generation of VR has exceeded our expectations. When you step back and look at it, and this is the way I like to look at it, 1 in 20 of the people who found the money to go out and buy a PlayStation 4 and all the games and peripherals that they enjoyed with that have also found the money to then go and buy the PlayStation VR and all the games and peripherals that go on top of that. And I feel good about that. So next gen VR is coming. And please, Sony, make it for guys like me who wear glasses, the 4-eye guys, could you make it that like your glasses don't fog up within 20 seconds. When I used PSVR, I hated the breakout box, and as soon as you put the PSVR headset on, it was like I felt like I was making out with someone in a car. My glasses fogged up instantly. Like that, there's many people who play games that have glasses. Please fix it. Other companies have. My glasses don't fog up with other headsets. You need to do the same. And even though this isn't about specs, Ryan goes on because he was asked if he thinks that the PS5 will be the last console generation. And his answer is very interesting. This is what he had to say. What I think is, I actually don't know. I've been around a while, and I sat there in 2012 and listened to all sorts of smart people tell me about mobile and that the PlayStation 4 was going to be the most terrible failure ever. The logic was actually hard to fault, but we believed in that product then. We believe in this next generation product now. Who knows how it might evolve? Hybrid models between console and some sort of cloud model? Possibly that. I just don't know. And if I did know, I wouldn't tell you. So it seems like everybody in the industry is playing it safe. It seems like, because they don't know. I don't know anymore either. I know eventually it's going to be a cloud gaming only future, but when it will be, who knows? Maybe there'll be a PlayStation 6. Maybe there'll be a PlayStation 7 and a PlayStation 8. Lord only knows. But I just think they don't want to call it right now, because how will it sound? Like, say you're the PlayStation CEO, you're Jim Ryan, and you're like, yeah, this is our last console. And after this, there's going to be no more hardware. It doesn't sound like you're enthused about it. It sounds like, all right, we just need to make money off this thing. We're going to dump it off. So they don't want to say that either, because it makes them sound like they're unenthusiastic about this next generation, and they don't want to do that. You know what I mean? So that's why they're kind of being elusive. So even if he thinks, like he said, even if I thought this was the last piece of conventional gaming hardware that Sony's ever going to release, I ain't going to tell you. And the reason why he won't tell you is because he doesn't want to seem like, that's it, it's over, last hurrah. Because he wants to make sure the consumer is still enthusiastic about PlayStation well beyond the PlayStation 5. So he's playing his cards close to his chest, and I think that's smart. Now, I'm really excited about these consoles, but I'm going to put one thing out there. Now, do I think they're going to be able to do possibly like 4K 120 hertz? Sure. I could see them being able to handle that. Hell, the GPU inside of the PS5 is right going toe-to-toe with an RTX 2080, and that should do 4K 120 hertz. Obviously, you'll have to tweak the settings. You may not be able to max out games and get those settings, but I could see that happening. But the whole thing with 8K, the only thing we're getting from next-gen consoles that is 8K is upscaling and possibly movies. Games are not going to be rendered in native 8K. My 2080 Ti under my desk in the computer right now that I have can't game in 8K, and that's a beast of a card. Stop. Both Sony and Microsoft have to stop with the 8K. It's just not practical. High-end, super expensive GPUs right now can't do it comfortably. A $500 or $600 console is not going to do it. And I'm okay with that. I just don't think that's a thing. I'm much more impressed with the rumored specs I'm hearing about the next-gen systems than I was when we were going from the 7th gen, the 360 and PS3 into the PS4 and Xbox One. Those specs seemed anemic. These seem impressive. They seem great for the price, I should say. So I'm fine with it. But the 8K talk, just go away. We're not doing 8K with next gen. But this cross-gen thing is interesting. Now, is it that's when the PS5 comes out, is it that we're going to get one disc that could possibly work in the not talking backwards compatibility, but will it have the code for both PS4 and PS5 so it'll work on both systems? Because are we going to get, like, when the PS5 is released, games that'll say in the package cross-gen compatible, so when you take it out of the PS4, put it in the PS5, you'll just get the upgraded visuals? That would be interesting. I don't know, they may want to milk people and be like, hey, you got to buy the PS4 version. Yeah, you could play with your friends in the PS5, but you'll have to buy the PS5 version as well. Maybe that's what they mean by cross-generation. And we know the PS5 is going to be backwards compatible, so maybe they're saying, oh, you can just take your PS4 version of the game and play it in your PS5 and play with the same friends. Or if your friends only have a PS4 and you have a PS5, the game's released on both platforms, you could still play with them. But maybe they also mean that the game will work on both systems and they'll just know which systems it's in, and you'll either download a patch to get the PS5 visuals or the code will already be on the Blu-ray. I'm speculating right now, but this is an interesting time, and it's exciting. These consoles seem a hell of a lot more robust than when the PS4 and Xbox One were launching. I was always kind of disappointed with those specs. The Xbox Scarlet and the PS5, I'm psyched about these specs. They seem more than capable, and next gen is going to be interesting, man. It's going to be real interesting. And these articles talk about Stadia being, or one of the articles I have talks about Stadia being a competitor. It's not a competitor. I don't see Stadia lasting more than 2 years. And that's because Google has a lot of money. I don't see it being successful ever. But that's just me. This is Rich at Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one.